What's going on, YouTubers? Seasoned greetings and salutations to everybody out there. And for those out there who've lost loved ones during these difficult holidays, every year something like a day like this is going to trigger people. Just stay strong and just remember they're in a better place and try to enjoy. You got to try and enjoy the fact that you're alive. Thank God that you're alive, and just be happy that you're alive, and you're happy, and you should be happy enough to be alive to keep them in memory and in thought, because I think the more you miss a person that's gone, the closer you become with them. I lost my brother. I lost a couple of grandmothers, great aunts, uncles over the years. I've lost cousins. It's not easy. I don't think death is meant to be easy. Death is 100% more natural than anything else. And it's 100% guaranteed, but at the same time, it doesn't get any easier. I had a friend whose wife lost her father recently, in the last week or so, and I too last Friday lost my cousin. And the way I had to find out, I don't think it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard. And I get it. I get it. But, anyway, I just want to say seasoned greetings and salutations to those. Happy holidays to everybody out there. I have started on Sunday prepping. I prepped my meats. My wife basically didn't want a turkey. A lot of people aren't really keen on turkey. I think the older I get, the less I like turkey. It used to get to the point where my mouth used to water from just the taste of turkey. Now, if I eat turkey, I can eat it once, maybe twice. After that, I'll start getting nauseous of it. And this year I did a ham. Normally I do a pernil, a roast pork shoulder. I did that for Thanksgiving. They chewed that shit up. This time I did a ham with pineapple and my special blend of spices. I also did a slow cooking 8-hour pot roast. There's levels to how I do my pot roast. I'm not really a beef guy, and when I do eat beef, I mainly eat ground beef. I'm not really a guy that's really keen on steaks and stuff, because beef kind of messes with my stomach a little bit. But I around the holidays, especially around Christmas and stuff, I normally make a pot roast. This time I did a pot roast with a little twist to it. Again, it was an 8-hour slow cook. I did about 5.5, almost 6 hours on low. Then I did a 1 hour on high. Did another one on keep warm. Now I'm doing and then I cut and slice them up. And of course I add my own ingredients and other things. And then after I slice them in parts, then I put them back in with the gravy and everything. And I slow cook it on high for another 45 minutes, and then it's done. That way all the juices and stuff marinate and get in between the slices and stuff, and it'll not only be tender but really flavorful. And this time I did two roasting chickens. I did 2 chickens. I did my own special blend of stuffing, dressing, whatever you want to call it. I also did I said that I did 3 meats. I did a ham, a pot roast, and two glazed chickens. I also did Spanish rice. Dude, I went out with so many Hispanic women. My mom's father's side of the people are Dominican. And black Hispanics ain't about blacks anyway, but I'm really good with knowing my flavors and shit like that. I also did a lasagna. I did as we call it, a North Carolinian you could call it tuna salad, but we just call it macaroni salad. I have my own blends and spices to it, but kind of the way my mother and my grandmother makes it. Make it. And I didn't do cornbread because I forgot, and I kept seeing the Hawaiian rolls, but I'm not really a carbohydrate guy. I don't really like bread too much. That's why I don't eat a lot of sandwiches. So this time I was like, you know what, I won't do the cornbread this time. It's okay. And I meant to go this morning because I had to pick up some stuff for the pot roast, because I decided again to make it another way. But anyway, who wants to hear me? Hear Chef Bro RD or Chef Bro Arteeth. Hey, yeah. Anyhow, I just wanted to show you guys. My kids got money. The only sad thing about getting older and your children getting older is I used to love, because I'm a toy guy. I used to love going out and getting my kids toys and seeing their faces. I mean, you know, we always got them sneakers, clothes, and toys. You know, like I always get them clothes they wanted, and I always used to get them toys and video games and stuff. And I used to love just watching them play with them. You know, Mikey was a little bit more difficult because he wasn't really a toy kid until he got into like his pre-teens. Then he started liking the Transformers from the Transformers the movie. So he was big into that in Creole. And Michelle was huge into her thing was Bratz. You know, she didn't like Barbie. I was more of a, I like Barbie because my family grew up on Barbie. My sisters, Cabbage Patch and shit like that. So in the early 2000s, Cabbage Patch wasn't really a thing. And, you know, she didn't really care for Barbie too much. You know, her friends were big into Bratz. So this girl had, if I kept all the Bratz that my daughter had, she could probably fucking make a mini fortune with the shit that she had. I mean, when I say she had exclusives and high-end shit, she had. I mean, come on, look. Isaiah wasn't really a toy kid. You know, even as a baby, he liked phones and tablets and shit. I get him toys, and you know, he liked Elmo and what was it? Bob the Builder, and what's the other one? It was another one. I think Wyatt. I know it was like Super Wyatt says a day, some shit like that. He liked that. And his favorite Yo Gabba Gabba. I used to get him everything Yo Gabba Gabba. Other than that, I mean, I think once he turned like, I think once Isaiah got into like second grade, he stopped with the toys. He didn't like any of it no more. He didn't even like looking at the shows. So, you know, and again, I'm a toy guy, so I love to hunt and all that shit. As I'm proof in the pudding, the other day I did a video of me going toy hunting again. So I'm excited to be able to do that again. Not to say that it gives me excuse. There's no excuse to what I like. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I don't give a damn. But anyhow, outside of that, you know, I did get some gifts from my family. You know, my wife wanted to give me money. I said, you know what? There are a couple of things on eBay I want to get my hands on to help start off on this stuff. So I did get some stuff. I should have done a video, but I did get some stuff coming. I do got the Storm Shadow with the Ninja Lightning bike. There's like a 4-pack of the single G.I. Joes that I want them. Some figures I do want on cards so I can differentiate the difference on who they are and whatnot. I did get like a 3-pack that I need. Like I said, there are some figures that I would prefer to have them on card than off, but if I get them cheap enough off, it doesn't matter. So I think I ordered like 7 or 8 pieces that should be here by middle of next week. Because I think yesterday, you know, I don't know, but you know, most people when they have sales, they normally do go and ship shit out the day before a major holiday. So normally on like a Christmas or Thanksgiving or New Year's Eve, people normally do flood the post office with that stuff. And people don't understand, but you know, you might think that the post office is more flooded. No, they actually take these contingencies, and anybody who has a brain is smart because they have a lot more manpower and they ship out more. They do longer hours and they get shit to people quicker during the holidays than any other. And especially if you do it like a day or two before, like the day before or on the eve, they really do their shit. Like, dude, my mom and her best friend, who happens to be my older cousin, which is like, he's more of a brother to her than her own siblings. His name is James, you know, but you know, we call him Junior because he's my Uncle James, my great uncle's son, or my late great uncle's son, which is basically my mother's nephew, or my mother's brother's son, or oldest sons. Yeah, so you know, he also retired from 34th Street Post Office. He's been there for over 40 years. My mom retired as a postmaster herself years ago too. So I kind of know a little bit. I kind of know how the post office operates. I mean, I'm pretty sure things are a little different now, but I think more of the day operations are kind of still similar to what they were. I don't think they changed much. You know what I mean? So hopefully I'll get stuff. Again, I should get stuff hopefully before the New Year's. And I do have to order some more stuff. Now I can still smell. You guys don't understand. I love the smell of raw garlic, and especially when you take garlic and you put it in hot oil, that fucking smell is heaven. I don't care what nobody says. Garlic, the smell of raw garlic makes my mouth water, and the smell of garlic freshly hitting a hot, oily pot is the fucking best. Like, that smell is ridiculously delicious. That smell is crazy. It drives me crazy. Just think about that shit making my mouth water, and I can smell my food because heat rises, and I'm in the attic, and everything is done. Like I said, the rice, the macaroni salad with tuna fish and stuff, that was done yesterday. I baked a cake from scratch, triple layer chocolate cake. I didn't use my own frosting this time. I went with another frosting, and I do my things to it. I did 2 homemade sweet potato pies. I didn't go with Mr. Todd's like I did for Thanksgiving. I think since he has a store now, I just think he kind of like fell off. I wasn't, the pie was kind of watery, and I didn't like the crust. I wasn't really feeling it this year, and to give that guy $30 a pie is fucking nuts when I can make a pie 100 times better than him anyway. Yes, I said 100 times better than him anyway. Maybe not 100, but definitely over 10 times better. And to ditch out $30, I could ditch out fucking 3% of that and make them myself. So I did 2. Did a lot of shit, but anyway, going back to this stuff. So I finished my cooking. I really don't like doing videos while I'm cooking because then I would get so caught up in this and talking too goddamn much, and I wind up burning or fucking something up. So there's obviously once the meat finishes, once it counts down, it's done. It won't heat up no more and stuff. So I'm not worried about that. Other than that, everything is done. The collard greens, the lasagna. I didn't do macaroni and cheese this time. I might do it maybe next week. I'll do mac and cheese and fish or some shit for New Year's. But yeah, man. So show you guys real quick what I did get from my wife and kids. Now my kids actually got in the car together and got these things themselves. And my wife actually picked this up. She actually got this from somebody. Now she heard me. Now of course I'm into 6-inch. 1/6 scale. Mainly a Hot Toys. My wife likes Hot Toys, but she likes, just like my wife always liked. She liked the Hot Toys figures, but she liked statues better. She thought they looked more mature for men. You know what I'm saying? Like, she liked them better than she liked the 1/6 scale figures, aka 12-inch. But she likes the 12-inch too. And I was collecting so much that my wife kind of became like a pretty decent novice at knowing her shit. Like, she can tell you the difference between Sideshow and Hot Toys if they're in the box. She knows from the logos and stuff. But if she looks at it, she can't really tell. But she could tell a high quality 12-inch figure from like a regular miscellaneous $70 or $60 one. She can tell. And she knew that I like He-Man because obviously everybody remember I had my He-Man figures, virtually the whole collection. I was missing like maybe 6-7 figures to complete that whole wave. Between that and She-Ra. And everybody knows that I always wanted the Mondo He-Man. And I said, I might not get everything from Masters of the Universe, but I would be happy with. I said I'll be pretty happy with He-Man and Skeletor. You know what I mean? Maybe even Man-at-Arms Teela and the Sorceress and Evil-Lyn. That'll be it. But the first one got to be He-Man. Now, about three or so years ago, probably longer, the guy in Forbidden Planet didn't know who I was. One of the guys did, which his name is Robert. The other dude, no, Robert or Richard. And the other guy fucked up and he got rid of my Motu He-Man figure. I didn't have to put a deposit down on it. I should have. But being that Rob, aka Rich, because I always forget his name, I know it starts with an R. He's a big G.I. Joe guy, like this kind of G.I. Joe shit too. So I guess he wasn't around when they actually had an extra one in. Somebody wanted it, and they wound up snagging that one because normally they'll have a pre-order or a fixed price on it. Now again, R knew it was mine, but he wasn't there. And when I did finally contacted him, it was like within a week and a half or so that I should have been notified that it came in. He was too busy and preoccupied, and during that time, the Mondo He-Man figure was already long gone by that time. They tried to come across other ones, but they didn't want to pay the secondary market price, and I wasn't going to pay a secondary market price for their screw up. I don't really buy from them anymore because of that, mainly because of that. Because communication and everything is key. Yeah, he did do me the favor and all that shit, but at the end of the day, again, communication is key. So I did feel a certain way about that, which I feel like I'm entitled to, whether people agree with it or not. I don't really give a fuck, but anyhow, somehow my wife must have spoke to, I would say, Mikey, because I think Mikey cares and knows more about this kind of stuff than Michelle or Isaiah. Isaiah doesn't really give a flying fuck about any of this stuff. Michelle, even less impressed. Mikey, he collects certain shit, and he's a big Marvel Legend fanatic. And he knows more or less about what I'm into. Again, my wife also, like, she really knows. So let me show you stuff that my 3 kids conspired together to get, which is ironic because one of these I had 4 at one time, and I've sold them all. And ironically, as I said, on Sunday I went to pick up a Popeye collection. It's like I think 4. I think it was like 4 regular Mascos on card in great condition, a big 12-inch one, and the guy only wanted like literally $95 for all of it. I had to go out to Neptune City. Racist older white man, but we still did the deal. He was very uncomfortable. He made me feel very unwelcome and uncomfortable, but because I drove so far, if it was a 35-40 minute ride, I would have told him to go for F himself, called him every name in the book and left. But because I was so far and it didn't make no sense to tell this guy off and waste gas, time, and mileage you can't get back just because he's a racist and an asshole. So it just made more sense to get what I came for and keep it moving. Because at the end of the day, that's what I came for. I didn't come, to get my ass kissed or anything like that. So it is what it is. So anyway, it's ironic because, and again, I had 40s. So as a Christmas present, and of course, I still have my, what is it? The golf outfitted, Space Jam Michael Jordan that my son got me, and I also have the Transformers Optimus Prime and Megatron like masks things or helmets that my son Mike Jr. got for me last year. I keep everything my kids get for me, especially it doesn't matter how trivial or how expensive or whatever. So got this, the 112 Popeye. And again, ironically, I have 40s. If I'm not mistaken, I think I did mention at a toy show that I was like, damn, man, I think I sold my last Popeye, and that was a regret. And he's like, well, you shouldn't have sold it. I said, yeah, I know. And I think he remembered that because... And then this, because, they know I like the 112 stuff. I wound up getting this 112 Catwoman. And because they know I love Fantastic Four, I love the movie, and I don't know which of the 3 picked what, but I do know that all 3 of them picked a figure. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think I know Mikey did the Popeye because we had a conversation about that, and he was like, "Where you going?" I said, "Oh, I gotta go pick up some Popeye figures." He's like, "Oh, no," and I said, "Nah, it's a Mezco, some Mezco shit from what's it called to resell." And now I see why he had that reaction he had. But I think he's the one that picked out this Popeye. I believe Michelle may be the one that picked out the Catwoman, because everybody know I'm a Batman fanatic. And I think Isaiah picked out the Iron Man because I have the I'm not really a huge Iron Man fan. Everybody know I do like I was never really much of an Iron Man fan until Robert Downey Jr. played him. To be honest, unlike a lot of people out there, not taking nothing from anybody, I'm not one of these guys that think I'm a comic pro, a Marvel and or a DC knower because of movies. No, I know about all this shit from comic books. I'm talking about old school comics. I don't know about all these new 52, all this shit. But when it comes to comics from like I would say early 2000s to like the 30s, 40s, I know my shit. But everybody knows that I like Robert Downey Jr. and they know that I like War Machine, Iron Patriot, and Iron Man. And when you think of Fantastic Four and comics from the 60s and 80s, you think of Iron Man and Doctor Doom and Fantastic Four. So got this bad boy here. And I do have the 4-pack Fantastic Four that I got from Lev from Toy Tokyo when they came in. That shit cost me like fucking $400. I think it was I think I paid $350, but it was going for $4 or some shit like that. I did take them out, and I am very happy that I got them. And I love that movie so much that I actually went out and got all 6 of the Fantastic Four Marvel Legends that came out around the time the movie, right before the movie came out. That's how much I like that movie. I like how they did so many different references to different movies. Again, I thought that Superman movie, I liked Superman. I thought it was pretty dope. And I like Fantastic Four. I mean, I still think the Superman movie was better than Fantastic Four as far as action shit goes, but Fantastic Four was pretty dope. And if you read the 60s, 70s, and 80s comics like I did, you would see the cross references and just how accurately cool it was. So those are for my kids. And anything I get from my family, or anybody for that matter, is well welcomed and loved. And then this, my wife actually had somebody come to her job and meet her for this. And she said, yo, I got something for you. And Michelle handed it to me. So thought that was pretty dope. By the power of Grayskull, I have the power, He-Man. So we got the Mondo He-Man. He-Man. Yeah, man. So pretty badass. So now I can track down Skeletor, and I'll probably be done with it. Look at that. I have the power. And yeah, so supposedly Mondo is doing Thundercats. Oh! So I would love to get Lionel, Lord of the Thundercats, and Mama Ra. Agent spirits of evil are transformed this decaying form to Mom Ra, the ever-living Thunder Kiddies. A lion, oh! By Jaga, it's Mumra, the ever-nigger. Hey, listen to me, thunder goddamn blood-clad fool them. It is me, a Mumra, man, you motherfucking piece of shit, man. A lion, oh! I got him all day, y'all. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? I'm in a great mood, guy. I'm very, very happy. I'm even happy. So, yes, sirs. So, I am extremely exhausted, y'all. Oh, man, I'm tired because I've been cooking for days. If you want your food to be really, really good, you can't just only go by the best ingredients and stuff, but you also have to go by cooking your shiznick the right way for shizzle my nizzles. You gotta cook the stuff even great, even. Hold on, y'all. So yeah, guys, I am tired. So it's funny because tomorrow is my youngest sister's birthday, and then yeah, so Friday is her birthday, and then Saturday is my brother and the other twins. Well, both my brothers, the two twins' birthday. Of course, one is no longer with us. So my mom had 3 December babies. Somebody would say, "Oh well, you count twins as one." Let me tell you something. If anything comes out of a woman's vagina, I don't give a flying fuck. They consider that shit more than one. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you, my mom says that shit all the time. Listen, I don't give a fuck what nobody say they appear. They ain't come out holding hands and multiplied after they came out. They motherfuckers came out one after the other. And I'm gonna tell you, you count them motherfuckers as one, not as two. Because they came out one at a time. So I can respectively understand that. But yeah, man, anyway, season greetings and salutations to y'all. I am so tired, I can't even think. Catch you guys later. Peace out. Come on, give me Twitter.